Hello everybody, welcome to my studio. Lonna Lamb here. Thanks so much for stopping in today. We're going to do a fun quick thing on this video. I know all of us need last minute gifts of some kind, so I've got one that you can paint up real quick and then stuff full of goodies. So we're going to be painting this Dollar Tree stocking today. It really is so easy because the pattern is already on the stocking. So you just have to pick your colors and paint it in. I did use DecoArt SoSoft fabric paints, but you can use any paint that you want. I do highly recommend that you use a fabric medium because this fabric is very porous and a little bit rough, so you don't want your paint just to soak right through that fabric. So fabric medium, I think, is going to be a big help. So let's gather up our supplies and let's get painting. Alright you guys, for those of you who are needing a last minute stocking, this one came from the Dollar Tree and they had an assortment of designs. Comes with these markers so you could actually just color it in. It does have a little piece of very thin cardboard inside of it, but I'm going to put a thicker piece inside. Okay. Toss those or save them for another project. This is the piece that came with it. You can take this piece and trace it to fit inside here. I just traced the stocking itself, and I'm going to cover it with some Glad press and seal because the paint will go through this fabric, so we don't want our fabric to stick to the cardboard. Cover it with some Glad press and seal. Just wrap it around it. You can use a plastic bag, the bag that you get from Dollar Tree. You could wrap that around it, that'd be just fine. And it does have a little hanger thing inside there, so alright. And that's going to make it slide in there so much easier too with that Glad press and seal. So now we have protection behind our surface here. Let's start with our gingerbread man. I've got a damp brush and I'm going to apply some fabric medium on here on our gingerbread guy. You could use paint pens on this as well, kind of like those little markers that they gave you, so you wouldn't necessarily need the fabric medium. But this is such a thin piece of material here. It's got lots of gaps in the fabric. I think I'm going to have to get my easel out here so I can get it rotating. I'm going to go ahead and go over those buttons so I can paint them in later. And then we'll just paint his face. I'll go ahead and put some fabric medium over his bow so that we can paint that in. And I'll wait to do his hat until we're ready to get up there on his hat. Okay, so I'm going to use golden brown. It's kind of like a cocoa color if you're using just regular Americana paints. So we might use some, well, I know we'll use some glitter paints on this as well, because try to stay off my bow there. We'll paint it in. This is such a super fast little, I think it'll be a fast project because the line drawing's already on here. So we're just going with what they got. And And I'm just going to go right over those buttons, and I will come back in and paint them a different color. We can redo his eyes and his mouth, all that, any of the black lines that are on here that you want to keep. We could actually go back over them with black paint or a black paint pen. But I can just dot the eyes with some black paint. I do want to stay off the cheeks because I'd like to make them a pink color. We got a coat on our little gingerbread man. I like to dampen my brush in water, but then I like all the moisture to be out of my brush so that I can load it with my fabric medium. And when I need moisture in my brush, I'm just going to go right to my fabric medium and grab my fabric medium and not my trying to get my plate in the camera shot here. I might want to zoom in just a little bit. You might want to be a little closer to see what I'm doing. So I'm just painting in the holly leaves here with my fabric medium. And I think I'll go ahead and put some on the berries because we'll go ahead and do the berries while we're here. Okay, I'm going to go into my green paint and paint my holly. Now, when you're painting on fabric, especially this particular fabric, try not to use your best brushes, but use decent brushes, not some that are all really messed up, because the fabric can be hard on your brushes, and this fabric particularly might be a little hard on your brushes. Alright, let's grab some red. I'm not sure what color I want to make the gingerbread's hat. Some red or berries. And I'm just loading the corner of this brush, so I didn't switch out my brush. I could go to a small round here. Okay. Let's do the candy cane while we're here. And get some medium on it. And see if we can do that. That candy cane has a lot of stripes on it. So I'm going to see what's going to work best here for painting it in, because it has a lot of stripes. I don't know if I want to try and combine a couple together. And make some fatter stripes in here. I don't know, because that is a lot of... I'm doing 2 red, 2 white, 2 red. It's a lot of lines in there. I think doing 2 red lines, 2 white lines, 2 red lines is going to make it look a little bit better. 2 white, 2 red, 2 white there. There might be a red one in here. It's very hard to tell what's going on right there. We'll start here with the red. Okay. Let me put some white paint out and we'll try and get some white stripes in there. While I have my red out, I think I'll go ahead and put something on his cheeks. Ooh, that white's really thick. I might have to get a different bottle. Super, super thick there. Mix some medium with it so I can thin it down. It's looking so cute already. That's like a ginormous white one there. I have to widen my red one. Get some of that white off of there. Alright, let's do a little, I'm going to wipe my brush off so there's not a lot of paint on it. And we'll kind of do some pink in the cheeks. Because I got my fabric medium in there and I wiped most of the paint off. The fabric medium is going to make my paint a lighter color. How cute is that? Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and add some white on the hat band. Fabric medium first. Go around the little circle here. I don't really know what color I want to make the hat yet, because I don't really know what color I want to make the cup. Okay, let's go into some white. See if we can get this a brighter color. You can paint this as simply as you want to. You can add shading and highlighting and details. It really just depends on the time that you have and what exactly you're going for the look. Okay. I think what I'm going to do next is put some fabric medium down here from my cocoa and get a light layer of that in so it can be drying before we work on the marshmallows. Okay, this is cocoa in here. Looks like we can see a little bit of it here and here and right here. I'm just going to use a brown for that. That brown needed shook up a lot better than what I shook it up. I don't think I've ever had the fabric paint separate before. That one sure did. So I'm just mixing it on the corner of my brush with my fabric medium. And just going around everything, staying up on the tippy toe of my brush. Got a little bit of the gingerbread man I missed painting in there. Okay, I think that's got our hot cocoa in there. I think I want my cup to be blue. So I think I will make, I want it to be a dark blue on the cup, so I think his hat, I don't know if it'll look good with a light blue or not. Okay. I don't know, he might look best with a red hat and bow. Be more traditional, I guess. Let's see, what's the colors they gave you? They gave you red, blue, and green, so they weren't giving you a lot of options on colors. I don't think I put any fabric medium up here. Let me grab some fabric medium in my brush. I could tell because it was going on very dry on here. Okay, that looks super cute. I think I want his buttons to be white. Some white buttons. And then of course the stuff on his arms. This stuff here. Go over that black line. Your pattern's already right there. So that makes it so much easier. So I got some brown on there, so I just want to refresh that black right there. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and do the outside of the mug here. And I'm going to cover the whole thing with my medium. I don't want to go over the snowflakes or the little star right there. So if you can not go over those, that'd be good. But, you know, if you do, don't stress out about it. The snowflakes are going to be white, so we can, this blue is a little bit more opaque then. Love this color, so pretty. Yeah, I'm not sure about those letters. I might have to go over those. Just using the very tip of my brush to kind of go around these letters. Definitely going to have to go over them with a paint pen or something. Could go over them with some glitter paint. I don't really want to go over them with this blue paint because I think it's going to cover up too much of the letter and I'm not going to be able to see where it's at. So I'm just using the very tip of my brush. I'm only putting paint on the tip of my brush when I dip it. But with that medium, a good coat of medium on here and still some in my brush, it's going on very smoothly. Try and go around my snowflake. Again, I could probably just glue some. I have some of those foam snowflakes. You could glue some of those on here. Give your stocking a little bit more dimension. You can completely cover these up and use a snowflake stencil. That would be so much easier if I did that. I do have a snowflake stencil I could use on here, but I'm trying to show you how to paint it without having a bunch of extra stuff. Just a few colors and create something really pretty. Alright, let's paint the word Christmas in. It's not Christmas without cookies. I would like to have some of that green coming in somewhere else. I don't know if I want to paint the word Christmas green, but I'm turning it upside down because I don't want to lay my hand in the stocking, and we don't necessarily need to see the letter itself, we just need to see the lines. When we focus so much on the letter, that's when it makes it difficult for us to paint in lettering. So I think I'll do a couple letters at a time. And I'm going to go with, let's see, that's a metallic green. Maybe we could use a metallic green up here. Stay up on the tip of the brush as best you can. When we give our brush too much pressure or we lay it down, that's when we get out lines, and just the very tip of this brush is all I'm using. And this is metallic fabric paint. Okay, I'm just going to wipe the paint out of it and go into my medium, which means I'll probably be laying some green in here, but there's no sense in washing the brush out since we're going to be going right in with the same color. I'm going to do these two. It's very pretty paint. Of course, having a lot of fabric medium in here, which I do, is probably going to lighten the color a little bit. But I can go back over with a second coat if I need it to be a little bit darker. Okay, I'm going to wipe the paint out of my brush and go into my medium, and we're just going to finish out all of our letters. Now, you know, again, if you have paint pans, you can do all of this with paint pans. Okay, I'm going into my paint now. I get a little dot of paint on the end of my brush. See a little dot of paint, and then I very lightly lay it on there, and then just take the tip and follow the shape of where I just put the medium. Okay, wipe out the excess paint because I want to go into my medium now and move on to the next letter. I'm going to do the M by itself, and then do the A and S together. Stay inside the lines that are printed on here. Okay, now I'm going to wipe the excess medium off and grab my green metallic paint. A little bit more out. Make sure before I touch my stocking that I don't have fabric or paint on my hand from opening and closing the bottle, because sometimes that can happen. Okay, 2 more letters up here. And if you have a blow dryer or a heat tool, you can get your paint dry so that you don't have to worry about laying your hand down in it. I removed any remaining medium off my brush, and now I'm just picking up paint. I don't need the medium to be on my brush when I paint my letters in, because the letter is full of medium, so of the fabric medium. And you could paint this in without the fabric medium, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult because the fabric just wants to suck the paint right up, and that's where it can really be damaging for your brushes. Okay, super cute. Right side up, you can see a few spaces that were missed. Really cute. I like that metallic on there. I don't know, you probably can't even see the metallic. It's a bad thing about glitter and metallic. When you paint it on something, it's very hard to translate it into the camera. Okay, we are going to put my paper towel over here so I can get to it easier. I think we'll go ahead and paint the word cookies in, and then we'll start doing some shading and stuff on here to finish it up. We still got to paint our snowflakes in, but I'm going to wait to paint those in till the very last, I think. So down here with the word cookies, we're going to do the same thing. And I'll probably just, I don't know if I want to paint the word cookies red. We've got green. I don't know if I want the word cookies to be brown. It's a tough call here. I've got a metallic, well, I've got a metallic gold. Maybe I'll go with that. No, it's a glitter one. Do I have a metallic gold? I'll have to go look and see. Alright, let's add the gold. This is a metallic gold on the word cookies. And then our other words that are black, we're just going to leave them the black that they came. So hopefully that will show. You could paint it a darker color underneath which actually might have been a little bit better of an idea. Like the color of the or antique gold type color, which I have that color. So pretty. The word Christmas and cookies are both metallic, and that is so pretty. All right, I'm gonna get this dry real quick. All right, everything feels pretty dry, so you can at this point be completely done with your bag. You can take the cardboard out and fill it with all of your goodies. But I'm going to do a little bit more to mine, so I'm going to do some shading and highlighting on it like I would any other project. So I'm going to put some of a lighter blue. If you don't have a lighter blue, then go ahead and just add some white to your blue to make it lighter. And a little bit of black because I want to darken my colors. So I'm going to put my red, my green, and my blue, which were my basic colors that I used on here. And for my brown, I'm going to use the dark brown that we used in here for the cocoa as my shading color on my little gingerbread man. I've got a little bit of a lighter green that I might want to add onto my holly leaves. Alright, make sure I got all the paint off of my hands from opening all my bottles up. Okay, so I think on the hat band here, I want to do just a little bit of light blue. I'm going to add some white and a tiny little bit of blue. And get some fabric medium out, because fabric medium is going to help me be able to add this on here very easily. A little bit of blue for some shadow on the edges. Might need to be a touch darker. There we go, that looks better. And we'll go to this side. A little bit of fabric medium on my brush. Okay. Put a little bit on the bowl here. Get my fabric medium on my marshmallows. You do not have to paint them because they're already the fabric color. But if you want it to be a little more bright white where it stands out, like up there on the hat band. Okay, that looks good. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit of the blue down here. A little bit of a shadow on my marshmallows. You could also do that with some brown. Maybe brown would be better because we can make it look like the cocoa was on it. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut and paint in my marshmallows with the white. You can definitely see the difference with the white paint here. The fabric paint also kind of helps fill in the holes of the fabric, because this fabric, you know, has pretty good size holes in it. So it kind of fills it in. Gives it a little more higher end look, I think. Okay, so I'm going to take I'm not going to clean my brush, but I will wipe the excess white off of it and get some brown on the corner of my brush. A little bit of fabric medium. And we'll just put a little bit of brown on here, like some cocoa has gotten up on our marshmallows. Okay. Clean that off right there. I'm going to put some black on that right there because I want it to match those. And we'll just keep that on there. That looks cute. I like that. Okay, let's go to our berries and our hat. And I'm just going to take my red paint and mix a little bit of black in with it. So I'm going to load my brush with my medium and corner load in my red and corner load in my black, blend them together. It's going to make like this purpley wine color. And maybe a little bit more red because on this fabric it's looking black. And we'll just create a little bit of a shadow on our hat here. Super cute. Okay, and we'll do our berries. A little bit of this darker color on them. And put a little bit right here on this one. Okay, so we got a little bit of darkness on those. Okay, now for our leaves, I'm going to take my green. I'm going to load my brush with my medium and take my green and a little bit of black, and we're going to make a dark green here. And we'll put this on our holly leaves. A little bit more on this bigger leaf here. Okay, those are going to need some brightening up, maybe just a tad bit darker too. All right, let's go on to our gingerbread man. I'm going to load my brush up. I'm going to go into that dark brown and a tiny little bit of black in there. And we're going to shade on our little guy here. Got a lot of medium in my brush here. A little bit of black, a little bit of brown. Make sure my stocking doesn't fall down into my paint here. Let's go a little bit under the hat here. So these steps are only if you want to, you know, add more detail. Totally up to you however much you want to do here. Okay, a little bit of shading on him. I'm going to take this color and put a little bit of it down in my cocoa here. Just a little bit in a few places. Okay, don't need a whole lot there. We can add a little bit of white onto our cocoa to, you know, for our marshmallows melting. Okay, let's add, I'm gonna get a smaller brush. Let's add, see if I can add a highlight on the candy cane. See if I can get some flow consistency off my white by adding the medium to it. Okay, that's doing pretty good. Stay up on the tip of the brush there. This is not the easiest fabric to paint on, but put a little highlight on the hat. The dots on the hat, I'm still undecided if I want to go in there and paint those dots white or just leave it a red hat. I think I'm just going to leave it a red hat because I just don't want to take away from the look of it that I got going here. Okay, I can do a little highlight on the bow tie. Just a little kiss of a highlight on there. Okay, then on our berries. Okay. We'll do a little highlight on the leaves. And I'm going to try and use this brighter green that I've got here. It's a medium in my brush. That looks pretty good. Alright, we just got to put some shading and highlight on our cup, and then I'm going to paint my snowflakes in with some white, I think. Let's see if I can do some shading on this cup and have it. I'm going to take my blue and a little bit of black. Okay, or a lot of black, and darken that blue. See if I can get a little bit of a shadow color on here. Again, all these details are totally optional. And, you know, do this so that you have plenty of time to allow this to dry. At least a good 24 hours to get that paint dry. I'm going to go underneath the lip here. Make some more of the darker. I feel like it needs just a tiny bit more black in there. I'm just going underneath the rim here. This side's mostly going to be highlighted, but we do want to put a little bit of this shadowy color kind of coming over on the cup. So I'm just gonna pity pat it, you know, where I want it. I'm not worrying about going around those letters and all those details on those letters or the snowflake. I just want to get a little bit of darker color on my cup coming over that way. Make sure I get my medium in my brush. It's going to help me move that paint a little bit. If you're worried about getting this part in your paint, I would recommend folding it under and maybe even putting a piece of tape on it to hold it down. So painter's tape would probably hold it good. Okay, a little bit more darkening on the handle, and then we'll add some highlight on here. I'll go right next to that black right there. I do need to put a little bit of shadow inside the cup. A little bit darker over here. I think that's going to look good. Okay, a little bit. Not sure I can get very much in there. Okay, that's good enough in there. You don't need a whole lot down inside there. Okay, a little bit of lightening. I need a little bit more fabric medium. I do want a shade underneath the cup too. I do need to put a highlight on the gingerbread man. Alright, so I'm going to take that lighter blue and my white and see how the highlight looks on here. I'm just going to put it here and there on the cup on the light side. Smooth it out a little bit. Okay, a little bit on the handle. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I need to do the shading under here and our snowflakes, and then probably clean up my letters on here. I'm going to probably just clean them up with a black marker. So underneath here, I'm going to fill my brush with, I think, that black blue mixture and a lot of medium, because I don't know how well this is going to take the paint. Maybe I'll put a little bit of medium down first. That way it won't just suck right into it right away. I just want a little shadow underneath the cup here. Alright, let's see how this is going to work out. This brush just has medium in it. A little shadow under there, that is super cute. Alright, what do we got left to do? The snowflakes and snowflakes. I think that's all I have to do is the snowflakes. I'm going to get some fresh white out. Alright, so my snowflakes, I'm going to try and paint them in. I need a little bit bigger brush here. Get some medium on my brush. Be aware of where your wet paint is on your bag. You'll know if you stick your arm into it, because your arm will want to stick to the okay, yeah, this is brightening them up. Super, super nice. Good fresh paint. I'm sorry, my doorbell keeps going off. My husband is outside chopping up the leaves. Okay, that one looks good. I'm not sure I can get the little stars back, but I'll give it a shot. Maybe they'll just become little dots. I'm not sure they're going to look like stars, but we'll do what we can. And if you covered any up with your blue paint, don't worry about it. I think I probably covered a couple of mine up. And I can't really tell that they're a star. And I'm going to go and do the bigger ones out here that I can, not the ones that look all black. I'm not sure I can make them look better, but I guess I could give it a shot. This is turning out super, super cute. Get those letters painted on there, or back on there. I might be able to do that with some black paint, because they're not as bad covered up as I thought. Alright, I'm going to get a little bit of medium in my brush, because there's been no medium out here on this stuff, and we're just going to brighten up these snowflakes. Just a little bit of paint. I'm not putting a lot on here. Just trying to make them bright, because the fabric is not white. Star here. There's a snowflake there, but I cannot tell what shape that snowflake is. I'm going to do the stars though. And those other snowflakes like this one, I may just leave black. I'd like to have a brighter snowflake down here, but I don't really know what the shape is here because the lines are not super bright, so I'm just going to put a little where I think it needs to go. I think I'll do this one as well. And maybe that one up there, I don't know, it looks... He is right outside my window here, which I'm on the back side of the front door here, sort of. Okay, that one sort of looks okay. I think I'll just leave it with those three painted in. Alright, let's see if I can do those letters, and then we might be able to call this one done. I'll get some medium and some black paint. Now again, you can do this with, let this dry completely and do it with a paint pen. If you're not very good at lettering with a brush, that would be the best option. I can still see my letters on here pretty easily. Medium. If you don't have good flow with your paint, if you're doing it this way, you gotta have some medium on your brush. It's like water. Oops. Super cute. Alright, any place else we need to add black back into it? I don't think so. So I'm going to dry this a little bit, especially those letters right there. I kind of think either Happy Holidays or the snowflakes, I want to put some fabric glitter on here. Now again, they probably make the little squeeze things that you could do. Maybe make his bow tie glittery. I don't know. Seems like it would be fun to add some glitter stuff on here. So I'm gonna put a little bit out here. I think I will glitter up his bow tie for sure. Goes on kind of milky, but it dries clear, and then you have this gorgeous, beautiful sparkle all on here. So when that gets dry, it will be gorgeous. I think I'll do the berries. You can do whatever elements on here that you want to do, but I just really wanted to jazz this up and make it more beautiful. I don't know if my black is dry yet. It might be dry enough to get glitter on it. Okay, so I did the bow tie and the berries, and I think I will do Happy Holidays. I'm kind of doing it like the metallic paint, where I get a little ball of paint on there, because this is a little bit thicker paint, and that way I can just skim across that letter and lay a good amount of this on there without giving any pressure whatsoever to my brush. That was a little bit too much right there. And then when this dries, we'll have super glittery letters. Again, this is optional. All of this is optional, but I just wanted to show you how you could take something from the dollar store if you are needing a quick little stocking. I mean, this really is taking me no time to do. What probably will take the longest is the drying time, because the painting time is not taking very long, because your pattern is already right there for you. And so you can just go with the pattern and I love this glitter paint for fabric. It is absolutely gorgeous. And generally only one time is all you need for it, because it is so glittery. Okay, that was just a tad bit too much there. I'm not really picking up a whole lot. I know it probably looks like a lot on the end of my brush here, but it's just a little bit at a time. That's why I have to keep going back frequently. Alright, some of that is starting to dry already, so you're seeing the blingity bling bling on there. And this is metallic, and I wish it would show up on the camera shot a little bit more, but it doesn't. So, and the fabric paints that I'm using are DecoArt SoSoft fabric paints. Available online at DecoArt.com. Look at that. So much cuter than when we started out, isn't it? So much cuter. And that glitter paint is starting to get its sparkle in there. It dries pretty quickly. And then we've got the metallic up here and down here. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. So you guys, I just want to show you how you could take just a simple little Dollar Tree stocking that's, you know, pretty simple and basic, not a lot going on to it, and I know it's a cheaper made stocking, but we don't have to spend a whole lot of money on stockings and things like that. And oh my gosh, while you're there at the dollar store, you can just fill it up with all kinds of goodies. That's what I do for my grandkids. I go to the dollar store, I get fun little toys, I get little boxes or bags of candy, and I just fill their stockings with fun stuff and candy. Because I feel like that's what stockings should be filled with. So that's it for me on this one, you guys. I hope you're going to head to the dollar store. My dollar store had several different patterns on their stockings, and grab one and have a really good time with it, painting it up as simple or as detailed as you would like it to be. I had fun with this one. I hope you did too. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Please comment, please share, please like, and please subscribe. I appreciate you guys so incredibly much. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.